Thanks for stopping by my channel. This is my first video, so I thought I would start off with just doing a breakfast. I'm definitely new to this kind of thing, so any constructive criticism you want to leave below in the comments, that would be awesome. If you want to like it, that's great too. This morning I'm going to make an omelet with mushroom, ham, and cheese. I just kind of threw my eggs and cheese and mushrooms in this little ceramic egg carton. I have my stove in here, and then the alcohol, and then of course my cutting board and little kitchen knife. So let's go ahead and get started. So this Trangia stove I've used a few different times. I do love it. It's not like it's heavy or anything like that, but it does have some added components to it. So what's great about this is that it does come, the kit that I got anyway, comes in this nice little pouch, and then also has with it a strap right on the set of pans, pots and pans. So that holds it all together. You can just push it down and release it, and voila. And then of course you have a pan on top. I keep this protective covering in there just to keep it from scraping when I'm, putting it back together, etc. It has a nice little pot and pan gripper. These little arms fold up and down depending upon the type of pan you're using, maybe a tea kettle. So it does adjust. This is the alcohol carrier, which I do keep in a bag and kind of wrapped up, so again it doesn't scrape the bottom of my pans when I'm putting it all back together, and it just kind of keeps it all together. So typical of your alcohol stoves, has your little adjuster, etc. I do like to keep my alcohol for this in this Trangia bottle. It's wonderful because again it's plastic, it keeps it safe. It pours out the side that you're going to be using, which is handy, and it's not going to spill all over the place. So you can see that in there. And then you have an inner pot, a couple of them, or you can use them as bowls. So if you're serving something up, you can use them as bowls. Or again, you could use them as a couple of different pots if you're going to cook maybe a sauce and like a single serve spaghetti, something of that nature. Makes it really easy. And then you have your base here, and then your cooking component where you're going to put your pots or kettles. Obviously, you need to take the strap out. Just slides out real easy and goes back in real easy. So that way you can put your alcohol component right in the middle, and it keeps it nice and safe. I am just keeping it up on a rock, not for any real protective reasons, but the grass is just kind of wet, so it just makes it a little bit easier, and have it up a little bit elevated. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some alcohol into it. So for this type of container, all you do is just unscrew the lid a little bit, and then from there it will depress down. So it obviously won't pour out unless I'm actually pressing, so that's a great feature as well. And then you just want to screw it back in to keep it secure, and see, it can't be depressed anymore, so the alcohol is not going to leak, or this won't accidentally get depressed and accidentally leak out. So I always have gotten into the habit of screwing the lid tight. As soon as I'm done with it, I screw that top right back on. There are these little grooves that you can see are cutouts that will align with little slots and marks on the actual base where you can line it up and then lock it in place. So you turn it and then it's locked in place. With the pan that I'm going to be using today, I'm going to fold the arms out so it can hold it. If I were cooking with maybe a smaller kettle or one of the bowls, I can drop that in there and then it can hold it down. Again, it's just really going to all depend on what you're using and the purpose. Before I light the alcohol, I'm going to go ahead and cut up my mushrooms and my ham. ahead and light the alcohol. Okay, let's start cooking. Add my handy dandy pot holder. A lot of kits come with those. Let's get it on there. We'll get some butter in the pan. So the butter's starting to melt nicely. Just spread it around. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop in my ham and mushrooms. And alcohol stoves are great because, again, they're really convenient. It's not like you have to process wood or anything like that. It's easy, especially when you're on the go, depending upon maybe if you're backpacking or just kind of rustic camping. They're an easy alternative, especially if it's raining, if you're under a tarp or some kind of shelter. I did make a rookie mistake. I forgot to bring pepper. I was not intending on adding salt anyway because of the cheese and the ham already have salt contents, that sodium, so I did not want to add extra, but pepper, rookie mistake. Everything is sauteing up nicely. Those mushrooms are getting very tender and those kind of just that little bit of brown crispy at the end, which is how I really like them. Mushrooms sauteed in butter. Yum, yum. All right, let's bring it home and add the eggs. All right, get the eggs on there. Spread them around. You can see everything is cooking away nicely. Now, do you flip yours? I flip mine because I do not like the thought of running eggs and it grosses me out. So I always, to the best of my ability, flip mine and then I'm able to add my cheese. But I know a lot of people aren't quite so picky. I will always try to flip mine, or they may just end up becoming scrambled, and then I add my cheese and fold over as possible. But that gives the other side a chance to kind of firm up, and you can see, again, the Trangia pans are great. This one worked well for non-stick. I added the butter. You can see that cheese kind of gooing out there. It's gonna be good. Again, it's a gorgeous day here. Sun is shining. Clear skies. It's only supposed to be high in the mid 70s. So you can't not be outside cooking. It's kind of like you have to do it in this kind of weather. And the other great thing, I already have a ready-made plate. I don't need to transfer this to another plate. If I were maybe sharing it, I could, or I could use the bowls, but I'm just going to go ahead and eat right out of this pan. There's no sense in dirtying another dish. Even though I'm at home and not camping, out away from my home, I still don't want to have to do extra dishes. Who does? All right, time to extinguish the flames. So you can just go ahead and just take your adjustable cap ring and just drop it right down on top, and voila. Now, obviously, you need to be careful because the pan, the base, they can all still be hot. So don't just start grabbing them and handle them just because the flame is out. You want to make sure you are really careful. Give that time to cool down, and always make sure that you use gloves or use pot holders, whatever you may have at your disposal. So with that, I'm gonna head off and eat my breakfast.